Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Jones. Welcome back to my channel and to another of my Plan With Me's, and this time we are memory planning the week of the 13th of May, and this is my first Disney week. So I go to Disney on the Monday and then we start to a Disney After Hours, and then from the Wednesday we started our actual Disney tickets. I am using Magical 50th from my shop, that's just a lie, from Scribble Prints Co, paired with a printable foil bundle in two colours from Planner Pixie Co. So I foiled it in both purple and blue, both available in my shop when it's open, and I've matched, so you've got purple foil on the purple days but the underlays are the solid underlays are blue. I've also done colour matching to extra little things and fancy labels so that I can have enough boxes, because this is a very extender day. There is at least one day extender on each day and there are two on Monday, so it's a quite full on week. So yeah, I'd arrived in America, Florida, on the Saturday before this. If you watched my last Plan With Me, that came out on Monday, and yeah, so working on that there. So yeah, that's kind of where we were at. I was a little bit jet lagged. My whole family went out. Well, no, not actually my whole family. My brother, the younger of my brothers, but he is still older than me, didn't come, but everybody else did. And at this point, at the beginning of this week, it was only me, my mum, sister, nephew, and brother-in-law and dad. But my husband came on the Tuesday, as you'll see in this spread, and actually my brother arrived on the Monday, I believe, but I don't think that's marked. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I finished one book this week, which was Daisy Darker, which is about a family who have sort of lost touch and are not really in touch with each other, who go for a grandma's party to stay on an island where she lives, and essentially somebody is killed, and it's a sort of a cruise ship mystery / thriller surrounding what happened, because nobody could get on and off the island. And there's a lot of poetry in it. I quite enjoyed it. I will try and describe that a bit better in a minute, but yeah, so the grandma wrote a book called Daisy Darker, centered around one of the sisters. So sorry, I'm really doing a bad time of way of describing this. So there is Nana, and then who is the person that is found dead initially, and then there's mum, dad, and three sisters, and then a daughter, if that makes sense. So they're basically trapped on an island, and then people keep turning up dead, and there's lots of poetry type things woven into it from Daisy Darker / the killer has put up a poem. So it's quite enjoyable read. I gave it 4 stars. It's not the best mystery ever, but I quite enjoyed it. There's quite a lot about found family, not found family, dysfunctional families, and it's very twisty. It's quite enjoyable. I liked it. I would recommend. So yeah, I was listening to that on audiobook. Now I am gonna move on to the day by day, because as I realised in my last spread, there is not enough time to go through the day by day in the detail that I want to. And also, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. And my base is sped up a little bit more on this video, because you may have noticed this video is longer than my normal videos, because there is so much to put in. And that is going to stay true for the next couple of spreads whilst I'm in Disney. So there's a lot of extenders on this week, the week after, and the week after that. So I've actually sped up the base more than I normally would. I normally have this part of the base at 5 times speed, and this is at 7 times speed. And I normally have the boxes part of the base at 4 times speed, and it's at 6 times speed, but I wanted to keep the day by day the same speed, so that just leaves us with a little bit longer video. It was going to be over 45 minutes if I didn't. I didn't think anybody would want to listen to me ramble for 45 minutes, so that's the kind of compromise I came to. So now I'm done blabbering. I am going to get on with putting down the day by day, talking about the day by day, that's the words. So on Monday, we actually very, very excitingly found out that my sister was pregnant. She did a pregnancy test. They've been trying for a very long time, like over 2 and a bit years, more like 3 and a bit years, I think. And she did a test that morning because she was late, but she doesn't normally take a test until she's very late because she's got polycystic ovaries. But because we were going to Disney this evening, she decided she needed to do it so that, she knew whether she could go on rides, and it was positive, which was super, super exciting, but also a bit rubbish for her because it meant she couldn't do rides and stuff. But also, yeah, she was happy to be pregnant because she's been trying for such a long time, and we're absolutely thrilled for her. Then we went off to Tampa Zoo, which is about an hour from where we were staying, which was really good. There was a koala that was super, super awake, and like, you can barely ever see koalas move. They sleep like 23 hours of the day, 23 or 24 hours or something ridiculous like that, right? And instead of doing that, it like proper went on a little walk. It went down like the tree it was on into another bit of the cage and then up another tree, and it moved so much. It was really, really amazing to see. Absolutely loved it. We walked around the park, saw lots of different animals, but I just kind of noted the really funny things or the really good, cool things. So then a monkey was having a wee, and then its baby went underneath it and decided it was a great idea to drink its wee, which was just absolutely hilarious. Then we went and saw the manatees. So Tampa Zoo actually rescues manatees and rehabilitates them back into the wild if they can. And we watched a couple of manatees being fed, one by a tube going down its nose into its tummy, which was really interesting to see, and the other via literally being bottle fed. So it was really cool to see like the different ways that they feed them. Then we went to the Morcor, like the parrotty type thing, flyover. So basically they have trained Morcors who go on little flights, and it was really cute and really enjoyable, and they literally like were so close to my head, like probably 10 centimeters from my head. Awesome. When we went to see the pygmy hippos, and there was a baby pygmy hippo, and it was so, so cute, like actually obsessed with how adorable it was. And then I read my book. I was reading Love of My Afterlife at this point. I don't think I actually finished that till I get home, but yeah, maybe I do actually, I can't remember. So then me, my mum and my sister had tickets to Magic Kingdom After Hours, so we went to that. It starts at 6 p.m, but then like when the park closes at 9-10, it's then exclusive access from then till 1 a.m. or something. I can't remember the exact details. So we rode so much. So the first place we went, because it was obviously quite busy when we got there because it was still park opening hours, so we went to the Enchanted Tiki Room. We went to and watched Mickey's PhilharMagic. So I will just talk a little bit about Disney rides. So the Enchanted Tiki Room is a little show where there's like animatronic birds singing, super cute. Then Mickey's PhilharMagic is like a cinema show type thing, 3D cinema show thing where there's lots of songs from Disney things. Then we went on It's a Small World. If you don't know what It's a Small World is, I don't really know what to say. It's essentially like a little boat trip around different parts of the world, and it was my favourite ride as a kiddo. And I used to just, when I was, because I'm the youngest, when I was littler than my siblings, I just used to take my mum around and round and round, and they used to drive them insane. My mum doesn't like rides, and obviously my sister found out she was pregnant, so she couldn't do rides, so I was the only one doing big rides, so yeah. We then went to Prince Charming's Regal Carousel and did the little carousel. It's a standard carousel, but it's very, very cute. Then went to the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, which is the teacups that spin. A lot of fun, obviously, just spinning around. Then we did Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, one of my favourite rides because I love Winnie the Pooh and my mum loves Winnie the Pooh. We absolutely love Tigger, so the little bouncing bit when you're with Tigger, so you're basically going through a blustery day story with a party at the end. It's very cute. Then we went on the Tomorrowland People Mover, which essentially takes you around Magic Kingdom, Tomorrowland, to see the different things like from above and like a little bit of behind the scenes. I then went on Space Mountain on my own because nobody else could, and it was the general park was shut by now, so the queues were nice and short, which is a roller coaster in the dark. absolutely love Space Mountain. It's up there in some of my favourite roller coasters, though I do have a new favourite roller coaster after this trip, which we'll get onto on Wednesday. Did I write it on Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. Then I also went on Tron Light Cycle Power Run, which is new since we last went. I think it's fine. I find the bike seat, it's like you sit in like a bike seat and you're leaning forward, and I actually find it quite uncomfortable to sit in, and like it's not really an exciting roller coaster to me. It's just fast. So yeah, it wasn't my favourite thing in the world, but it's fine. It's a good roller coaster, but like the waits for it, when the waits for it get ridiculous once there's no more virtual tickets, like I probably wouldn't wait that long. Then we went on Dumbo, which is basically one of those up-down circle rides. I don't know how else to describe it, which is cute. But you're flying on little elephants. Always adorable. Then we went on Haunted Mansion, which is like a haunted house ride, slow ride through. It's one of a lot of people's favourite rides. It's really good. Then I went on the Barnstormer, which is it's a smaller roller coaster. So I did that. It was good. We went on Jungle Cruise, which is like a fake cruise around animals with a skipper telling lots of jokes. It's really funny, and it's nice to go on a few times because with the different skippers you get different jokes, and it's quite nice to see like which jokes are similar, which jokes are different, and things like which ones are clearly part of their script and which they're kind of throwing in as themselves as well. Then we went on Pirates of the Caribbean, which is again one of our favourite rides, and I think that was our last ride. I've not marked it in, but what I am going to mark in is that we had lots of bits of food, so you got free drinks and popcorn and ice cream throughout. So I had lots of popcorn and lots of ice creams because they were included in part of the ticket price. We also actually got pizza at Pinocchio's cafe, and we really enjoyed it, but I'll come back to that later in the trip because my family did not enjoy it. Like my brother and dad complained so much when we went there about the pizza. But yeah, so just going to mark that in the empty box that stays empty, and then I've just marked so many rides. And that is it for Monday. So I'm actually on to the day by day now, but on to Tuesday, and I'm probably going to have to speed up, but we'll see. On to Tuesday, it was a shopping day for me and my mum, whilst my brother, sister and family and my dad all went off to Kennedy Space Centre. I've been to Kennedy Space Centre enough times that I'm just not that bothered about it. So me and my mum had a shopping day. We went to the Disney outlet and bought lots of things there, and then explored the rest of the outlet and went on to Florida Mall and went to some department stores. We were looking for a dress. We're having a party in August. It's actually the day after you see this video. That we wanted to have something to wear for, but we didn't find much really. Dresses in America tend to be a bit cheaper, and they tend to have a lot more sales, so we were looking for something like that, but we got one dress between the two of us which we're actually going to share. And then I went off to meet my husband, and very frustratingly it took me ages to get to him because essentially we needed a second hire car, so we returned the car I had hired and hired a different car, because we both had to be there when we signed the rental agreement, so it was a bit frustrating. But then he got through like security and everything really quickly, so then I was late meeting him. Very annoying, but is what he is. So I met him, which was lovely. It was so nice to see him. It had only been like 5 days since I left him, but it felt like forever. We like spend most of our time together, so it's weird when we don't normally not see each other for more than like 12 to 16 hours in a row. So there's that. Then we went out for dinner at a place called Rock and Brew, which I highly recommend if you like live music and like American style food. So I got a pretzel and some dip, I think, which was just like, I got 2 starters as a main, so it was just me, my mum and my husband that day. Then came back and we met the rest of our family who had been out for the day at Kennedy Space Centre, and I did my nephew's stories, and then I did a load of tidying of the villa, and then my sister thought I was being snarky with her and we had a little bit of an argument. I very rarely argue with my sister, so there's that. Like, I think the last time we argued, other than when I was drunk and being a twat, was about 5 years ago, so that's like our argument for the next 5 years. Then moving on to Wednesday, also I used the 4 boxes that had the park that we went to on the days. I just love that I could do that. So on Monday I used the Magic Kingdom box, on Wednesday I used the Epcot box, the Thursday I used Hollywood Studios, and Saturday we didn't actually go to Animal Kingdom this week, but so on Saturday I did use Animal Kingdom because I didn't really have any other choice. Anyway, on to Wednesday. So we parked up at Hollywood Studios and then did the walk across to Epcot, but it was absolutely chucking it down like it was one of America's storms, and we got absolutely soaked. It was a little bit miserable, but it was fine. I carried little one most of the way. He loved going on people's shoulders. So then we went into the back of Epcot and we went to Frozen Ever After, because Frozen is one of Felix's, who is my nephew, who is 4 years old. He is 5 in October and starting school this year. So we took him to Frozen Ever After. He found the bit where Marshmallow blows you a little bit scary, bless him, but he enjoyed it all the same. Then we went on a little jump across to the Seas area. So Frozen Ever After is like a little like tour through Frozen. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. Then we went across to the Lands and Seas area, and we went to Soarin', which is called Soarin' Around the World, and basically it's like you're lifted up in the air on a aeroplane type seat. I don't know how else to describe it, but just buckles in and you like, it's like you're flying over lots of different places around the world. It's pretty cool. So one of my mum's favourite rides. I really like it as well. We then went on the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is literally a mixture of both screens with Nemo and his friends and also actual fish, so that's really cool. So it's got like windows of an aquarium in it as well, which then as you exit the ride you go into the aquarium, so we had a good look around there. Then we went to Journey into Imagination with Figment. So Figment is a little dragon, and it's essentially you're going through a senses lab, and basically Figment interferes with the ride and tells you to use your imagination, and like basically it's quite funny and it's a lot of fun. It's a young person ride, but it's a very fun young person ride even as an adult. Then we jumped back across to Mexico and had some Mexican food. I got nachos, I believe, which was very tasty. We learned quite quickly that most of us just needed a kids meal. So me, my mum and my sister just all got kids meals because they were so much cheaper. And that was like enough lunch food for us. Like an adult meal was just too much. So we only got adult meals when we needed to because of choice of food or whatever. Then me and my brother and husband went off and went on Test Track, which is actually being reimagined at the moment, so it'll be different next time we go, and it's essentially like you design a car on your way, and then like in the queue, and then you're like comparing it to different cars, and it like does a speed test, like heat cold test and things like that. Then all of us met back at Spaceship Earth, and went on that, which is essentially it's in the globe of Epcot, and you go up and around different parts of like the history of time to how we got to where we are, and like what's coming up in the future in terms of technology and things like that, like how we started recording history and things. I was getting a lot of foot pain. Basically, I was wearing walking sandals, but when they got wet, they were really badly rubbing and it was really sore. Then went and did some pin trading. I do pin trading at Disney. I don't mark it in very much. I do it pretty much every time I see a staff member, but I look at their pins and stuff, and then sometimes we pin trade with other guests as well. Then we went on to Living with the Land, which is sort of about farming and crops, and really fun bits like that. Because it was the Flower and Garden Festival, they had some little character bits in, which it finished while we were there, and my nephew was really sad that the character bits had gone, like the little Alice in Wonderland nods and stuff had gone. I feel like Disney should have those in all the time because it just makes the ride more fun for kids, and I actually really like it. It's one of my favourite rides, and my nephew had been on it earlier in the day when we'd all been on Soarin' because it's in the same building, and he was really excited to show us like the Cheshire Cat and stuff that he'd spotted. Then we went on my favourite ride of Disney, probably now. It's either this or Expedition Everest, not sure which, but we went on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And honestly, it's so much fun. Like, looking at the harnesses that you have when you get in, you're like, oh, this is going to be pretty mild. But it's not. Like, the way it's designed, it's so good. The carriage you're in, like, spins around, as well as like being up and down and all over the place like a normal roller coaster, which increases like the G-forces acting on you, I think. So it's a really good ride, and there's some great music. The theming is fantastic. It's got a good little story going on. Really enjoyed. We then went back to the car park at Hollywood Studios. So that was us done for the day. We'd got Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a virtual queue, and we joined the lunchtime one, so we basically stayed until we'd got that there. And we got the Skyliner back across to Hollywood Studios, which is the first time I've ever been on the Skyliner, and it's actually quite a nice little ride. So we did that, and then we got back and we had some swim in the pool at our villa and went in the little hot tub. We did have a hot tub and stuff at our villa. I then went for a lie down quite early. Oh, sorry, big yawn. I went down for a lie down quite early, and then I ended up absolutely just falling asleep because I was so tired from like jet lag and everything, but that's absolutely fine. On to Thursday we went to Hollywood Studios for the first time. So this was our second park, was Hollywood Studios, and it's definitely the park that there is the least for my nephew. So me, my husband and my brother went off to do the Star Wars bits and pieces, because again, we're the people that like rides. So the first thing we went on was Rise of the Resistance, which is again new since I got there, and it's like a different kind of ride. It doesn't have a track, it's like programmed car things, it was fine though. Like, it's not amazing, it's fine, and it's quite good story and stuff, but yeah, it's nothing hugely special. There's one little bit that makes it like better than other rides, but yeah. Then we went on Smuggler's Run, which I really like Smuggler's Run. So we actually went on Smuggler's Run the day it opened because we happened to be in Florida at the time, and I think it's actually a really good ride. We tend to go on single rider, which means you don't like playing with your fam as much, but it's worth it for the like minimal queue. We then went on to Star Tours just because it's a good ride, and it had short queue, and yeah, we thought we might as well. Whilst we were doing things that other people wouldn't want to. Then we went to meet the others, but my mum was feeling really poorly, so I just spent a little bit of time looking after her and being with her. Then we went off to meet Chip and Dale, which are two of Felix's favourite characters. He was really, really excited about that. Then, to try and cool down, we went to Frozen Sing-Along Celebration, which was good fun. Felix, as I've said, loves Frozen, so it's just nice to see shows like that with him. We also went to the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Show, which is like showing how they do stunts and stuff and like special effects. It's quite cool. Then we went to Woody's Lunchbox for lunch. I actually think we might have not done this in that order, but that's kind of the order it's written in, but that's fine. Yes, we went to Woody's Lunchbox. I think we actually went before Frozen because my brother and her husband missed the Frozen sing-along because they went off somewhere else for lunch. We then decided to go back to the villa for a little bit because we were planning on seeing Fantasmic that night, but we just needed a bit of a rest in the middle of the day. As I've said, we were with a 4-year-old, so yeah, got to look after him, got to be realistic about what you can achieve. So I had a nap while we were back, and then we went back to Hollywood Studios and went to Muppet Vision 3D, which is a little Muppets show in 3D. There's nothing else really to say about it. It's good fun. I like the Muppets. Yeah. Then we went on Alien Swirling Saucers, which is kind of like one of those teacup spinny rides, but it's different, and it's actually, I think it's better than like the other ones, really, to be honest. I think it's because of how it does it. And it's a lot of fun, and Felix wanted to sit with me, which was fun. I love sitting with Felix. Then we went to Rodeo Roundup, which is a Toy Story themed restaurant for dinner, which is like a they call it family style, but it's basically all the food is in front of you and you can eat what you want, and then you can get more of everything and things, like set price thing. Like a buffet, but like it's on your table, if that makes sense. Family style is what they call it. And then like they had lots of cool Toy Story theming, and then like they'd have like Andy's coming, and you had to freeze until Andy left and stuff like that. And then we went to see Fantasmic, which I think is the best Disney show, and is really excellent. It's like a mixture of different characters, Mickey's imagination and stuff, as well as some fireworks and things. So really, really good show. I think it's most of my family's favourite. It's definitely mine of the shows. It's the one we went to see on the last day and stuff, because we wanted that to be what we remembered, if you see what I mean. So yeah, and Felix really enjoyed it as well, which is very important. The next day we decided to have a bit of a slower start to the day, and have a bit of a lie-in, and then we had brunch, just brunch at the villa. So we just had a slow start to the day, slept in, just get some energy back really, because as I said, we were travelling with a 4-year-old, so you do need to keep in mind energy levels a little bit more. And then we went off to Epcot for the day and did lots and lots of the World Showcase. So we did a lot of the just general wandering around, seeing the little shows and things that are in the World Showcase, looking at stuff, and going to the Kid Cot, going around the shops and things. So we went and toured the showcase. So 3 of the shows we watched were Canada Far and Wide, which is obviously in Canada. They're all just so that's just kind of about Canada in general. We went to the Beauty and the Beast sing-along in France, which is exactly what it sounds like, and then the American Adventure, which is again about America. We then, me, my brother and husband, went on Guardians of the Galaxy again. Such a good ride. Literally every time we went to Epcot, we tried to get them in the virtual queue for it, because I really enjoyed it. Then Soj and my brother were being super stroppy about like the World Showcase little touring and being like, oh, we didn't do anything, blah blah blah. They were just being idiots. Like, they're grown adults. If they want to go off and do their own thing, they can do that. They do not need to spend the whole time with us. So I've just put boys being stroppy in my planner, and then I had a talk with Soch, and he was like, yeah, I'm letting your brother influence how I feel, because I totally get what we were doing. It just felt a bit frustrating at the time. So yeah, then on to Saturday. We had another early start, but we weren't actually at Disney this day. So we went off to go and swim with manatees, which was an absolutely incredible experience. I really, really recommend it. If like that's the sort of thing you like, I would fully recommend it. It was so much fun. Even though the water was really not clear, it was really good. But anyway, it was quite a drive, because Orlando isn't, like where we were, isn't that close to the coast. So we had a good drive, and I just napped in the car because I was so tired still. Disney holidays are absolutely exhausting, particularly if you like try and squidge as much into one day as you can, which is what we tend to do. So yeah. So we then got on the boat to go off to snorkel with the manatees, and we saw a really cool osprey nest, which is a type of bird, if you don't know, quite like close to the boat. So that was really cool. It was nice to see all of them doing their thing, and the babies, they were so cute. And then we got in to snorkel with the manatees. My dad thought he wasn't going to like it, so he wasn't going to come in. My nephew decided he didn't want to snorkel, which is fine. We tried to encourage him to, but he really didn't want to, and his dad didn't go in. But I got my dad to try. So my brother-in-law didn't go in or try, and nor did my nephew, but my mum and dad both tried. My dad had thought he wouldn't like it, but actually was absolutely fine. And my mum absolutely hated it, and she found it really claustrophobic and ended up getting out. So yeah, so we went swimming with the manatees. The water was not very clear at all, so it's quite hard to see them unless they were very close to you. They also were really unhelpful in that my sister was getting a lot of leak in her snorkel mask, and my husband looked at it and was like, you've got loads of hair in it, it'll be coming in via that. And like, the guides were being really unhelpful. So if we hadn't like known about these sorts of things and looked at her ourselves, she'd have just had a leaking mask the entire time. And it was my sister's idea to go. My sister planned a lot of this trip. She is absolutely fantastic at that kind of thing, and yeah, did an incredible job. So we really wanted her to be able to swim with them. Anyway, as I was saying, the water was really not very clear at all, so it was quite hard to see them unless they were really close. And then one was literally like I just turned and one was right next to me. To be honest, it was so close, it just looked like a giant rock and like I was about to kick it, but you could tell it was like skin. And then I kind of followed it along its body, and then I took my head out and it was face to face with me, probably like 10 centimeters from my body. It was so cool, like, oh, such a good experience. And then one swam right below my sister and was like cuddling my sister. It was so cute. Oh, actually obsessed. So I sometimes shorten my sister's name to VK because her name is Verity Kate. So there's that. Then we went out. After that, we went out for lunch. Kind of annoyed my brothers a little bit because they wanted to go to this place, the place had recommended, but there was literally nothing for me and my sister, who are both vegetarian. Like, we're not fussy. A salad is fine, but they didn't even have a vegetarian salad, or like, and their French onion soup was marked like as having bacon in it or something, and we were like, there is literally nothing we can eat. But then we found somewhere that like appeased everybody, because seriously, me and my sister just need one option and we're fine. We're not fussy vegetarians. But we got there, but it absolutely stank. I don't know how my sister managed it, because it really did smell gross, and morning sickness is a thing. Then we went back to the villa. I probably napped / read a bit of my book. Had dinner in. What we were trying to do is have 1 meal in, 1 meal out a day. Then we went in to our swimming pool in the back of the villa with Felix, which was cute. And then I sat and did a lot of Duolingo. I ended up having a blank full box that is like designed for a quote there, but I didn't have a quote in either of these foil colours, so it's just got like an underlay on it, which kind of works but kind of doesn't. It's not my favourite thing, but it's hidden by a deck extender, so it's fine. Moving on to Sunday, we went to Magic Kingdom. So this was my nephew's first time at Magic Kingdom, and it was both my nephew and my brother-in-law's first time going to Disney. Obviously my nephew is only young, but my brother-in-law is quite a lot older, whereas the rest of us have been before. Me, my husband, my mum and dad and brother all went together in 2016, and everybody but my husband, basically my immediate family, have all been quite a lot as like when we were younger. So yeah, it was Felix's first time at Magic Kingdom. So similarly to the other days, the three of us that wanted to go on like the big rides went off, and we went on Space Mountain. I've obviously already talked about a few of these rides, so I'm not going to go into as much detail. So we went on to Space Mountain first, and then we went on Tron Light Cycle. We were a little bit cheeky, and because there were more than 6 of us in the party, we actually booked Tron twice under 3 different tickets both times. So we did it on like mum, dad and my sisters, and mine, my husband's and my brother's, and just went round twice, because that's how it worked out in the timings. We didn't always do that, but we did manage to get on a Tron twice that day, which was good, because it was the first time my brother and husband had been on it, because it was new and they hadn't come to after hours with us. It made my brother feel quite sick. He is definitely worse with rides than he used to be. So there's that. Bless him. Then we went on to the Barnstormer, which I've said is like the younger person roller coaster, but it's actually like quite jittery and hard. But yeah. Then we went around. We got the train around to oh my god, what's the name of it? Big Thunder Mountain, but that's not what Frontierland, I think it is Frontierland, and went on Big Thunder Mountain, which I really like. Again, it's probably one of my favourite rides. We then met the others and together went on It's a Small World. Again, I've already talked about this. We then got the People Mover in Tomorrowland, and then went on the Railroad. This doesn't make sense. That should have been before Big Thunder Mountain, I think. Then we went on to the Carousel of Progress, which is also in Tomorrowland, which is like, this doesn't make sense. Then I found some people that wanted to trade in person, which was a lot of fun. This is all in the wrong order, I know it is, but that's fine, because I did the real person trading during the parade, which is marked like after Buzz Lightyear. So anyway, after the Carousel of Progress, we clearly went on Buzz Lightyear, and then we went to see the parade, and during the parade I did some real person trading, and I got my sister a really, really cool, she collects Tinkerbells, and it was like, it's one of the hinge pins that you open up and it's got Tinkerbell's signature inside. It's so cool. Then we went on to Haunted Mansion, and that was our last ride for the day. Felix really wanted to ride Haunted Mansion. I don't know where he'd got it from, like at all, but he really wanted to ride Haunted Mansion, and he was so excited about it, and he really enjoyed it. It was one of his favourite rides, really randomly. So there is that. Then went back to the villa and I had an accidental nap again, but then I woke up and I did my nephew's bedtime stories. He absolutely was like doting on me this trip, and I was doting on him, let's be real. So I loved doing his stories and stuff. It was just, it made me so happy, but also so broody. For those of you who don't know, we definitely want a family, and we were going to start trying when I got really poorly with my mental health last year, and then that became the priority. So yeah, I'm very, very broody. And then we finished the night after my nephew had gone to sleep by playing a game in the villa, which was called Battle of the Sexes, and was very, very dated and very questionable. But the women won, unsurprisingly. And that is it for the week. And as I predicted, I managed to ramble and to tell you enough about the things that starting early meant that I actually had time to talk about the week. So that's probably what I'm going to do for these 3 Disney weeks. That is the first of my Disney weeks. Next week we do go to Animal Kingdom for the first time. We go back to Magic Kingdom. We go to Typhoon Lagoon. We go back to Animal Kingdom. Yeah, we're just all over the place. I think we go to all 4 parks next week, so look forward to that coming out on Monday. Thank you for watching. Comment, like down below, all that kind of thing. I love the alternate foil in this. I think it's perfect. Thank you for watching. I'm just showing you all of the many day extenders, or trying to show them off to you. There are a lot of them. They are beautiful. I really, really love how this spread came out, and I really like the solid underlays being in the opposite colour to the foil of the other thing. I also then at this point realised my Saturday and Sunday headers were the wrong way around, so I'm just switching those over quickly at the end of the video, being like, excuse me, what did I do here? That is incorrect. So yeah, just swapping them over, and that is it for this video. Comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz. Let me know what you think. Do you like the solid underlay situ, or is it a bit much for you? We do have lots more solid underlays and layered situations going forward. The next 3 weeks are epic with their solid underlay solid underlay layering. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.